So it's all about the story, the narrative, the culture, and the identity continuum. We're more polarized than ever. Equity now is national security, and the stability of our democracy, not fake-witty, is at stake. The next 10 years, expect to see assassinations, guerrilla warfare, not just symbolic takeovers. Because we're either fully American with all the attendant rights or we're not, and there's no compromising on that divide. Toni Morrison said, we need witnesses, because we don't believe folks, and the data are the witnesses. Data, big and small, matters. Winter has come, y'all, and the walkers with it. Bin Laden's assassination, 500,000 people during COVID, and Ukraine's success during Russia all have that in common. What we're looking for is patterns of the stories, understanding of the meaning of where those stories are going. See, stories are like stars. Collections of stories become a narrative, and collections of stars become a constellation. Collect constellations and you get a galaxy, just as a collection of narratives become culture. We really don't understand our position in the larger galaxy or the universe. That's why we also really don't know how identity and culture tends to shape us even more than story and narrative. But this is exactly how we got to this place of polarization. Of course, dark matter connects it all. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, some see this and they see fake news, right? French-made false American symbol dragging a good man and a great American. Some see something very different. What we all see is a future that's not so obvious. What's certain about sense-making is that you're looking for wisdom, something clear when complexity and chaos abound. And it's a dangerous place to think that you're in a place where something is clear, but you're really in chaos or complexity. That's where people die, and that's where ideas and careers die. We're in the era of the networks and the agile and the age of the anti-identity. And sometimes, we just can't seem to get it together. I don't know. The lieutenant governor of Georgia said he wouldn't vote for my classmate, Raphael, but wasn't sure he'd support Walker. Maybe he'll write in Forrest Gump instead. For centuries, though, we've known what to do. You write a check to invest in another woman's fishing rod, not just teach them how to fish. Collaborate at high levels. Maimonides did it centuries ago. The highest level of investing and charity is investing. The devil's in the details, though, right? We knew this from Howard County. But we started to activate brave voices, brave choices, when we saw leaders doing just that. A few stories jumped out, though, with some deeply conflicting narratives. Rousing the sharecroppers and pulling the bridge up and deepening the moat. We heard a story about colonial-era families here zoning property so that only 2% of developable land is left in a county where the density has ample land. So there's a story that Rouse perhaps steamrolls sharecroppers, contrasts with the holy cow of racial utopian narrative. It's not my story, but I'm curious about the insights and the narratives and the sense-making choices that presents. But here's the deal. Howard County is the bellwether for the U.S. Peachy data until you look at shocking disaggregation, if we can get it. Lest we revert to the only comfortable narratives we prefer. But leaders can't make and navigate decisions without looking at that data directly. The normative story is Howard County is doing great, and it is, until you look at what we've uncovered. A lot of civility posing, virtue signaling, masking a lurking dysfunctional inequity. That said, we're ahead of the U.S. in some senses because we built some trust, we shared some realness and vulnerability, and we began establishing intention and grounded purpose. So here we are. Like the rest of the U.S., Howard County has deep inequities. Remember, equity, not fakequity. And we have to begin to challenge some of the skeptics and scarcity philosophers. Well, this creates opportunities to both survive and thrive what's to come. Just look at the analysis of class, Native Americans, Black, Hispanic, Asians, and ask yourself, is this sustainable? While you're asking yourself questions, your neighbors, ask another one. What's the story or stories you find yourself telling about a group of people, in group or out of group, from which you derive your identity? And what would happen if that story changed?